day 11 or chapter 11, rid
Yeah,
yourself
you
and
was
your
pissed
family.
off. You was pissed off on this one. Oh yeah.
Rid yourself and your family
Self-explanatory.
of that selfish thinking. And once again, if you don't have the book, get the book, make dollars and cents. That's what we're doing here. We're talking about
Mm-hmm.
points in the book that I didn't take time to expound on in the book, but I'm taking time to expound on them in the video. So you're getting really like spending time with the author. And we got a commentator here to provide more insight. So we
Yeah.
provide value. We provide.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, this was one that something that really, touched me in a very meaningful way.
Did
I was a
it.
I was a life insurance agent, and I've heard people say so many times, and it was black people, and church going people, and I'm like, the Bible say, leave an inheritance for your children's children, a good man. And I'm hearing people say, no, I don't need no whole bunch of nothing to nobody, no whole bunch of money to nobody. I'm sitting there like, what? Like, huh? Like, my
Yeah.
grandmother always told me I was gonna do better, to do this, to do that, but I never thought of her like withholding anything from any of
Mm-hmm.
us. Never thought like that. Never heard that come out of her mouth. And I
Yeah.
didn't take her actions to, to be anything like that. So it was really puzzling to me to hear that. And I don't
Yeah.
know what they felt like it was going to take from them. It was going to cost them too much right now to do that. I just really didn't get that, not wanting to leave anybody something. Because
Mm-hmm.
in my head, I want to leave a whole lot, but not even just with money. I want to leave a whole lot of values, things that
Yeah.
like ways to protect this so that what we experience, sleeping on the floor, not having no bed, lights being out for weeks at a time,
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. My aunt used to go to the store to steal food, so we can eat when the kids got home.
Right.
She'll go get some
Right.
bread and some bologna and stuff so we
Right.
can,
There you go.
those kind of things. So that we don't have to do that generation after generation. I thought those were the goals. So if I left a whole lot, that was a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So hearing that, it really touched me in a really bad way.
And thus we got day 11.
So once again, when I say rid yourself and your family of that selfish thinking, that's what I'm
Mm.
talking about, because there's more than enough. There's more than enough for everybody to have abundantly. Like we have said in the past, like, I don't want to die broke. I don't want to live broke either. So I gotta do what's necessary for that not to be the situation, for that not to
Mm-hmm.
be the case. So
Mm-hmm.
what you gotta say?
Well, I mean, I think you said it all. This is my belief. Folks who don't have nothing have a selfish mindset as a mechanism to survive. I can only give so much because I don't have nothing. Right. So when you hear to say, I'll give you the shirt off my back. Well, but you probably got a t-shirt on underneath the shirt, right? You ain't gonna go straight skin, right? I'll give you the shirt, but I got a t-shirt on, and that shirt I gave you, I'm gonna need that back. Right? Yeah. I think a lot of it too is just, particularly us in the Black community, I don't think our focus is long term thinking that way. We talked about the funeral, the passing that I had at the funerals, right? How it's very unfortunate you go and such and such died. Okay, well, we got to pass the hat to help them raise money, GoFundMe, whatever, just to get them buried, right? And that happens a lot in a lot of, Black families. But the thing about the insurance is a big deal because they leave with nothing and they don't leave nothing back for anyone else, whether it be money, knowledge, resources, property. And it's like, okay, well, we're starting over again. Right. So the cycle never really gets to kick in and move to another level. The cycle is when Big Mama go, we got to start all over again.
All over.
Mom and Dad go, we got to start all over again. And how do you get to a place where we can just pick up where they left off and keep moving?
Exactly.
And I don't think we've quite figured that out yet. because of this key point about selfish thinking,
Mhm.
right? Because we're just trying to make it to the next level.
Mhm.
We can't afford to think beyond the grave
Mhm.
in many instances.
Mhm. And I think that goes back to what we were saying. Not sitting on the couch day after day watching TV in your recliner or in your rocking chair, whatever.
Right.
Not hanging out on the corner talking with the same people, because y'all could actually be standing there reading a book. Y'all could be standing there reading a book together.
Or even talking about a book that you've read.
Or talk about a book that you read.
Right.
So then now, so in the ridding yourself of this selfish thinking is, once again, is building these skills, building this knowledge to pass down to the next generation. Because it's not just about the talk, it's walking the walk as
Mhm.
well. So
Right.
then if I'm doing these things, then I don't have to worry about that. Like, that fear is not dominating my life. The fear of what I don't have and what somebody else may be having that's more than what I have.
Mhm.
No, I'm building, I'm putting in the work, so I don't have to worry about what someone else is doing.
Right. Right.
So,
And you mentioned
mhm,
building a legacy.
mhm,
I don't think we think of life that way.
mhm,
And when I saw that, when I read this part, I thought about, I'm always thinking about, what do you want your legacy to be when you're gone?
mhm.
I don't know if many people think about that. Hey, if I'm gone, I'm gone. Who the hell gives a damn about my legacy, right? But the folks who have some modicum of success and wealth, they do think about that because they understand the importance of passing that legacy on, because it is now another standard
Mhm,
on the bar that's been raised.
mhm.
And I don't think we think of things in terms of legacy, right? We're just, again, it's the survival thing. When you're trying to survive and give a damn about some legacy, you're just trying to make it through the day. But I think as a community, we should be beyond just surviving now. Our grandparents had to survive.
Exactly.
With,
Exactly.
with the abundance of information and resources that are out here now, we should be past just surviving.
Yeah.
And we should be starting to build upon the legacy of our ancestors. We hear that all the time. Let's
Right.
build upon
Right.
our Juneteenth was what, Thursday, right?
Right.
I mean, Wednesday, I'm sorry. It
Wednesday.
was yesterday. And that was a big theme I heard. Building upon the legacy of those. Have we
Mhm.
really done it effectively? We haven't.
So hopefully now we getting the wheels turning and building on the legacy of our ancestors.
Right.
How people say I'm my ancestors' wildest dream. Well, are you?
Are you?
What are
Right.
you doing? Is that just talk, or are you actually? You
Yeah,
know,
it's a nice t-shirt,
it's
right?
a nice T-shirt, because even when I'm saying this and what I wrote in my own notes, if I just have a job, to me that's not good enough. That's not
Right.
good enough. Because now the legacy is get a job, work for someone else. No, no, that's not it. That's not where we
No,
stop. We don't stop
no.
there. Is the legacy just having a business? I don't think so. I don't think it just stops right there. I think if you look around, look at like the McDonald's and the Burger King. I can go to any Burger King and get the same menu. I can go to any
Right.
McDonald's and get the same menu. And actually, the way the process is carried out is pretty much the same way. So that means they have a system established.
Right. Right.
I can think to that point. I can perform to that point of where I don't just have a job, I don't just have a business. Because if
Mhm.
I have a business, that's really still I increase my work. Really, that's more than
Right.
having a job. So, but if I
Right.
build a system to where I'm employing other people now and I'm teaching them, now I'm really building legacy right here in this
Right.
point.
Right.
And then
Right.
move beyond that. Now, am I having my money now as my employee? So now am I investing? Am I building stuff for other people to actually invest in? So that's
Right.
what I'm talking about in this, when I'm talking about building a legacy. And it doesn't have to be, oh, well, you haven't done anything, you haven't done anything. Well, I'm starting a conversation. I wrote the book on it, you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? I can show you my portfolio that I've been working on. I can show you my research, even because I have that documented too. Thing what I'm doing. I have my receipt.
But you know what? If you were to do all of that
Hmm.
to validate yourself to people,
Hmm.
how do I put it? What would that really mean to them?
Yeah,
See,
I
and
don't
that's
think
the
it
thing,
mean
right?
much. Yeah.
Right. So I could show you my house.
Mm-hmm.
I can show you the material things. I can go get the bank statements, retire. I
Mm-hmm.
can show you that, but what does that really mean within the concept of, within the context at least of motivating you, right? Because if you challenge me and you say, man, you ain't done nothing yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, I can show you these things. But does that mean now that I've shown you all this stuff, you now believe me and you're now going to go and follow up on some of these things that we're talking about? No, 9 times out of 10, they're not. It's more of a reaction. Uh, it's a again, it's a reaction to
Mm-hmm.
something, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking, you know, so, man, you talk all this stuff, you ain't showing me nothing. Then we show them. What does it mean? We can relate that to sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times people said, man, you ain't all that. You go out there on the court, you bust their ass. They still ain't impressed,
Mm-hmm.
right? Uh, whatever talent or skill you got, they may not have never seen it. They hear you talking about it, and then you show them what you can do. It's not enough. So
Mm-hmm.
how do we break that barrier to get from having to always self-validate or validate what we do, what we have to people who are still going to be unconvinced that they can achieve the same things? I don't know if we're there yet, you know, and we got to figure that out.
I agree. I definitely agree, but I still don't think that their lack of belief or their unbelief is enough to stop the conversation.